What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Ladies, Leans, Likes, and Likes. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me. If this video goes a long way for you, that way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Brooke Lopez, 5 points right off the bat here in the first quarter. Looking forward to 12. We need 12. We're looking for 12. Closed at 12.5. We got a point of value there. Always nice to see with a, like a fourth option in that offense, that's for sure. But going to be paying close attention to that one. Houston looks really, really good here after their first half going up against the Lakers. That was useful. Jalen Green out of his mind. Some good stuff. Hopefully Nick Claxton can finish us off this double-double here in garbage time. It's 9 minutes left in the fourth here. I am just sweating one rebound. I need one more damn rebound for me and for everybody in the premium Discord. And with that, friends, we have a 5-gamer here before us on Tuesday. We'll talk about BetMGM. We'll talk about Odd Shopper, but just really want to get to the plays here because I feel pretty good about this one. It's weird because points propped, they've kind of been the thing that have really ascended us the last couple of weeks. I got something, it's been pretty good here as far as pace, been picking my spots well. I think I picked my spots well here again today. We'll talk through a couple of the ins and outs of things that I'm waiting on. And again, we're going to have some lines that are just, they're going to be waiting for a little while because, well, back-to-backs all over the place. I'll get into all of the ins and outs. Producer Jacob, hello. Hi. Let's get to the picks. The Los Angeles Lakers on a back-to-back, taking on the Atlanta Hawks, not on a back-to-back, but Anthony Davis, LeBron James. I'm really, really interested to see when this line actually drops because we could be here until infinity o'clock tonight. But if you want to know about something from a total perspective or from an outright perspective, if you're taking a side in this one, hit me up on X at Eric Lindquist. Happy to answer your questions the day after. But I have a feeling we'll be waiting for a while and we'll need to get some quotes after the game. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, both questionable coming into Monday, both ended up playing. They are currently getting the doors knocked off of them by Houston, 92-64 as of recording this right now, late on Monday night. So just saying, there's a good chance that they're going to probably just sit them in the fourth quarter and then probably be good to go here against Atlanta. That's kind of my impression of it. But we shall see. We shall see. There's a lot of that kind of injury news that we're going to be waiting around on. Oh, speaking of that, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, questionable. Now, Hunter hasn't played forever, so forever, which is ironic because that is Andre 3000, which, of course, Atlanta, that would be hot Atlanta. That would be where you think about, speaker box love below, all of the great ins and outs. I know you like, thank you. Well, speaking of that, Trae Young, he does not stink at times. In fact, his EPM is off the charts on the offensive end. Of course, we know his inefficiencies on the defensive end, but you know what? On Sunday, in the premium Discord, we ended up firing his points prop to the moon, 24.5, closes at 27.5 or 28.5, and then, well, he goes for a 30 burger. That was useful. That was what we needed. It was a lock there. This won't be a lock, but this is going to be a lean that I'm paying attention to 30 plus here. With DeAndre Hunter in, but DeJounte Murray out, that would be an awesome usage opportunity. But again, so much injury news. I'm really curious when the books decide to drop this one because, well, they want money on both sides of this, but Lakers are a publicly backed team, and Atlanta, they've been the worst team against the spread that you've ever seen in your entire life. In fact, historical run against the spread for how bad they've been. So I'm just looking at points props here, friends. Trae Young, if DeJounte Murray is out, 30-plus points. I want to be looking at the alternate. Yeah, we could look at some alternates here because, again, the Lakers with Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell in that starting unit, you're going to see the defensive rating continue to plummet for them. They're good at offense. They are very, 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 very bad at the old defense. Next game. We're firing up Indy and Boston up here next. Boston. In the middle of a weird basketball game with New Orleans. They're only up 4 here just in the closing minutes of that one here. 4 minutes left to go. That'll be a fun one to pay attention to. But either way, Kristaps Porzingis did not end up suiting up. I think they were just kind of saving him for a rainy day, hoping that they could just sneak by in this spot. Tatum, Brown, Holiday, White. Of course, we kind of hope that they all suit up here. My guess is that Al Horford ends up sitting on the back-to-back and that you end up getting Kristaps Porzingis just playing regular rotation minutes. That's at least my impression of the situation. Luke Cornett was doubtful coming into this one. Maybe he gets upgraded to questionable for this one, and he can play some backup center minutes instead of whatever I was just watching Neemias Queta do. But friends, Indy. There is so much injury news here that, again, another one of those spots that when are the books going to actually drop this? Because generally speaking, we're waiting 3-4 hours later. And second half of the NBA season, I usually end up sitting around on my computer. Jacob will have to sit around his computer a lot later, mainly because otherwise I don't have any numbers to give you. But It is okay in these first 2 games simply because Tyrese Halliburton upgraded to questionable. Miles Turner is questionable. Benedict Matherin's questionable. Jalen Smith's questionable. You got Kendall Brown, if anybody cares, is questionable. It's wildness over here in the Indiana streets. In fact, I don't think we get a number that drops for this one until the morning either. So again, if you have questions about the spreads, the totals, hit me up. I will give you my impressions. But with that assumption that Al Horford is going to be sitting here on the back-to-back, and with the assumption that you might get another piece from Boston out in this spot, might look at an alternate number on a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, who, generally speaking, is further down the pecking order, third in terms of usage here, behind that of Jaylen Brown, behind that of Derek White here of late as well. But we know Kristaps Porzingis in this kind of a spot, in an up-tempo, crazy pace up spot here with Pascal Siakam on a side, with Miles Turner questionably here on a side. I mean, this game is going to move. And that creates some opportunities to get to a Kristaps Porzingis who should get all of those open three-point looks that his heart desires here in this spot, especially if Miles Turner is the guy playing the 5 there as opposed to them going small with Pascal Siakam. But we shall see. We shall see. So you're looking for something fun to do? How about Trae Young 30+ in the previous game, combining it with Kristaps Porzingis 20+ here in this one? Going to be paying attention to the alternate markets again. Points props, they've been kind of the calling card for me of late. If Brook Lopez gets there, of course. If he doesn't, scratch everything that I just said. But feel pretty good about Trae Young in the event that DeJounte Murray sits. Don't care about DeAndre Hunter. In this one, I think you're looking at Zinger getting 20+ here in this spot. Super quick, super easy, my friends. Odd Shopper. We're talking a market-based approach. We're talking the best plays at the sports books you have in your state day in, day out with the Positive EV tool. All of that can be yours for $15 a week, but that's not it. You're also getting the premium Discord where you can get my betting card every single Sunday through Friday in every single sport that I bet, that specifically being the great sports of the NBA, the MLB, which is coming back soon, the NFL, which is so gone in the rear view. Hey, went 3-1 on the Lindy's bets from the video, of course. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel ends up playing football, kind of smushing that one a little bit, but 3-1 overall. Still ended up with a little bit of profit, now profitable over the course of the NFL playoffs, which again could be a difficult road to tread from time to time. But I'm not here to brag about that. I'm here to talk about the tools. I'm here to talk about what a market-based approach could do for you. It can make you a lot of damn money. Also, if you only have fantasy optimizers, we're talking Underdog, Prize Picks in your state, we also have something to help you in those streets. So $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly, but it gets better when you use promo code Lindy, Lindy. That's me, friends. 20% off when you use that code down below. So sign up for the Expert Picks Discord premium tools all in one package. Only if you're, well, again, I don't have to do that right here. Yeah, that's it. Back to the picks we go. Gotta say, the New York Knicks went to Charlotte and they put a hammer down in that third quarter. Was a little bit tighter than they were probably hoping for in that early section. And then Jalen Brunson just went absolutely bazooka. It was an awesome third quarter. He ends up having to come back in as they cut it to 18 or 16 or something. Actually, it was 14. Okay, 14. That was the closest number that we had there. They bring Jalen Brunson back in. He slams the door on them. But shout out to Josh Hart doing the fill up the box score thing. Shout out to Dante DiVincenzo, who loved from a DFS perspective, talked about him over in the Stochastic YouTube channel, talking all, again, NBA Deeper Dive, NBA Live Before Lock. Great stuff. If you're playing DraftKings, if you're playing FanDuel, if you're playing all of those major sites for DFS, we can help you out over there at Stochastic as well. So give us a look. But we got NBA Finals odds. Utah, 500-1. They're not very good. They're not very good. They've been playing better basketball of late. I really hope they don't keep this team together here. But Utah, Brooklyn, we know what we're looking at here, friends. It's an interesting thing. But shout out to Ben Simmons for coming right back. Anybody watching that? Anybody watching him? At 10, 9, and 8, he's going to be closing this basketball game. Has a legit shot at a triple-double his first game back. I'm really mad at myself for not betting it, but it's okay because Nick Claxton got that extra rebound. So we got the double-double in the premium Discord. Whew! Needed that one. That was nice full unit send, absolute lock. Love getting that one across the board for my friends. So Nick Claxton got that lock across. Hopefully we can get Brook Lopez here in the evening hammer. But let's talk Tuesday, shall we? Utah 4-point dogs going into the New York, to the Garden. You know what you're getting into. You're getting into tough defense. Isaiah Hartenstein and Precious Achiuwa starting alongside him. You knew at how limited they've been that they needed to do something there. And OG Anunoby got a surprise scratch against Charlotte. Didn't matter. Hopefully he can play here for them on Tuesday because they on a back-to-back, that could end up being a real dicey little situation if he doesn't, because these guys are going to have to play giga minutes yet again. That means lots of minutes for anybody who cares. But Utah, you know what you have? These crazy, long, insane rotations that drive me absolutely bonkers. We ended up getting that under of assists here for Chris Dunn. That felt really good. Actually, an easy win on that one. I had a pretty good day, actually, on Monday. But anywho, let's look ahead, shall we? It is definitely a spot where I think if you're looking to back a spread on this card, the Knicks -4. Heading back home here, Utah, obviously, they're traveling back, but Jalen Brunson is just that dude. And Chris Dunn and Colin Sexton, best of luck to you guys here. They have the New York back-to-back. They have to drive down the street. They'll be fine. But, well, they have to go over to Manhattan, then drive down the street. But you know what I mean. You've got a New York team that is just, without Julius Randle, you're going to be okay, because Julius Randle wasn't exactly the most efficient guy on the offensive end. Of that, friends, is going to be what you get Jalen Brunson doing here. So fire him up. I'm going to be looking at, again, 31.5. Almost fired his points prop for everybody there. It got a little dicey towards the end. He gets to 32, so it would have been a W there. But either who, it's neither here nor there. We're trying to just make good bets and good bets only. And this is a good bet. Half unit. Knicks -4. Yes, the spread that appears on the card here. We'll talk about the last game of the night. Interesting things, but let's talk bet MGM quick, shall we? Friends, bet $5 and get $158 in bonus bets right now at the link below. Super quick, super easy. Sign up using that QR code, or again, down below in the video description box. If you bet $5, you're going to get $158 in bonus bets. You have to deposit $10 or more at BetMGM, but if you haven't signed up yet, you're going to get a $50, and another $58 bonus bet just for trying out a new sportsbook. So pretty quick, pretty easy. Take advantage of that down below, friends. If you're 21 and over, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. Let's get to a lock, shall we? I said points props were the name of the game today, and points props we shall have here. Toronto +1.5 taking on Chicago. And Chicago, at this point in time, we know that the pace is the lowest in the NBA. They grind it out. They have two true centers that do nothing but sit down in the block, that being Andre Drummond and Vooch. I mean, he can knock down jumpers, but just saying. It's one of those spots for me, friends, where, well, Chicago doesn't exactly breed confidence when it comes down to trying to project out a points prop that we would possibly want an over on, right? Right? Wrong, because we've got Scotty Barnes here on today's slate, friends. And Scotty Barnes is one of those guys that I just expect to eat up all the usage and all the land here for this team going forward, absent Pascal Siakam. Now, that's not only a guy that he's going to be missing here. Well, he's going to miss him forever, more than likely, unless they meet together down the road. Oh, that's a nice thought. But in the meantime, we're talking who's on his team. Two guys that are going to be out here in this spot. In Emmanuel Quickly, out. RJ Barrett, out. So that creates a crazy spot where we saw Jordan Nwora and Grady Dick inserted into, well, shouldn't say Grady Dick and inserted into the rotation last game. And yeah, that's a whole thing. But that's not it, because we've got Jakob Poeltl, who is questionable for this one. And again, true center, seems pretty easy for them to stick him in here. Phrasing, Eric. Phrasing. Either way, Scotty Barnes is going to play crazy minutes here going forward, because he's, the guy that they're trying to develop. He is the cornerstone piece of this team, the only guy who probably is not available come the trade deadline. And as such, going up against Chicago, where certainly with a super healthy Chicago team trying to get rid of some pieces, there might be some auditions going on with Ayo Dosunmu, guys of that nature. But I got to tell you, I'm the most excited about 23.5 points here for Scotty Barnes, because you're talking about the number one option, absent RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly, the two starters. Obviously, we don't have a large enough sample size to really say the on-off court numbers, but I'm expecting nearly 30% usage for Scotty Barnes going forward. And taking a look at that, putting him in for 37, 38 minutes in a competitive spot where, again, they're only 1.5 dogs. This is your lock of the day. And again, I use lock ironically. I hope you understand that. I basically came up with Leans Likes Locks to explain, hey, leans, these are things I'm thinking about betting, haven't pulled the trigger on. Likes, those are half unit plays, things that are decent enough. If you're looking for extra pieces, we can put that together. I bet it, you can bet it, we can all bet it. But locks are my favorite plays of the day. A unit and a half generally falls within those constructs. This is just a unit send. Points prop, Scotty Barnes, over 23.5. Easy day. Yeah, just, can we run it back? I guess you would have to run it the first time. We haven't. I'm done talking. And the last game of the night, talk about just injury news all over the place. A Philly team on a back-to-back. They just started here up against Portland, and they didn't end up playing Tyrese Maxey. They didn't end up playing Joel Embiid. They ended up playing Tobias Harris, who's probably going to play giga minutes there in that spot, trying to solidify that one. They're going up against Golden State, a Golden State team that, with Jonathan Kuminga playing the way he has the last few, has kind of reinvigorated this squad. Obviously, they're playing together. They have a lot of narratives going their direction. I don't know how to quantify those, but what I do know is they've looked a lot better here of late. Corey Joseph playing some backup point guard here quite a bit of late. Dario Saric off the bench. Kevon Looney, send him to the Shadow Realm. It doesn't work with him. You shouldn't be doing that anymore, although I'm very curious to see what Golden State does at the deadline. Can you get rid of Klay Thompson? Is that even allowed here at this point in time? We'll find out. We'll see if anybody wants to take a shot on Klay Thompson, because I'm sure they want to take a shot on some different guys. Andrew Wiggins playing better, got Draymond Green back. And this is one of those spots where Draymond Green going up against Joel Embiid, kind of intriguing to me, kind of intriguing. You saw one of the games of the year, that Lakers-Golden State game, but as I look at it, friends, I don't have a number here. All I want to have on high alert, though, is that if this line is middled in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to have a sprinkle on Philadelphia leading into it. And if I can react to it in the moment, if you get Mr. Joel Embiid ruled in, I'm going to try to fire on the Philadelphia money line side of things. Because again, I do think Philadelphia is the much better team. You go to a dunks and threes, you go to adjusted net rating, and Philadelphia is third, +6 adjusted net rating. That's way better than Golden State. Golden State, obviously, they're going to accumulate more of a sample size this season with Draymond Green, but just a +0.2. That's 16th in the NBA in adjusted net rating. Disparity between these teams, but maybe you can attach it to something ahead of time, have a little baby parlay going, or you can basically sit there and, again, try to find the best place in the marketplace to fire up a Philadelphia moneyline play. So, again, this is kind of a dealer's choice spot. If you're on board with me where you do not believe in Golden State as remotely like a remote top 5, top 10 team in the NBA, well, I got a deal for you, because you're probably going to get it here in the event that we get questionable Joel Embiid leading into this game yet again. He sat out in Denver. He sat out in Portland. I didn't think this was in play for him to miss back-to-back, but considering it was a back-to-back, I expect Joel Embiid to play here on Tuesday. Again, 65-35, probably the number. Tyrese Maxey, again, they should be able to handle business against Portland even without both of them, which is an insane thing to say because, well, they're very, very good. But I'm going to let it ride here. I'm going to be, as soon as this number drops, depending on, as long as it's sitting where I think it's going to be in that -4.5, -5, or minus like 175 money line section, I'm going to try to fire it up here. But it's going to be reactionary. We're going to call it a lean like lock. I don't think I've ever done this before. Again, we have a lean guy, we have a like guy, we have a lock guy. If I knew that we had Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey in, that would be one thing. If I got one of them, well, I'd probably just put a regular like on it at the adjusted number. And then if it were to, this is the worst spot to talk about on the entire slate. I can't believe I just talked about it for like 3 minutes. Anyway, maybe just don't do anything at all. I have no idea what I'm going to do here. That's the honest truth of it. So hit me up on X. If you have any questions, happy to let you know what I fire up here. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist here on the board for this lovely Tuesday slate we have before us. Obviously, lots of lines that are not going to be dropping until late tonight when we're all asleepy or when we wake up in the early morning. So hit me up on X at Eric Lindquist. I'll be happy to let you know what I end up firing. If any, maybe I'll just give you the entire betting card tomorrow. That seems like fun. I think this is going to be a good Monday here in hindsight. So there's that. Let's check in on Brook Lopez, shall we? I would really like to see how my boy Brook Lopez, kids, and I got to take all of that ass showbiz. He has 7 points here. 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Get there for me, Brook. What a time to be alive that's what I'm sweating. Anyway, thank you, producer Jacob. Let's get the heck up out of here. Until next time, friends, points prop galore. I mean, what is going on? I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Tuesday.